Hey, your boy Crypto Expat Life back with another video. In this video I want to talk about the best strategy for BNB crops farmer and obviously BUSD crops farmer, and I'll tell you why as well. Okay, so obviously they've got a new one that's coming out in probably about 5 hours, which is the FTM crops farmer. Yeah, it starts in 4 hours 26 minutes. If you do join this, just know that the volume on FTM is not very good. Okay, so that tells you that there's not a lot of money on FTM Phantom compared to BSC. All right, so with just that alone tells you that you shouldn't be investing in this. Long term, it's not going to grow. All right, even the AVAX one only grew. Well, let's go and have a look at it. Yeah, it's down to 400k now. So AVAX, I think, is going to be bigger than Phantom, but this only got to 500k. This one here, this is not going to get to 500k. Well, if it does, it'll be a miracle. Phantom just doesn't have the volume of people. Less people use it. It's less popular, and that means that for this thing to grow, it needs users. And there's less people on this chain. So, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that this thing is not going to grow. And if you invest in it, you're probably going to be lucky to break even. So that's why I'm not going in this. Obviously, you know, do your own research, but just stick to the main chains, right? Just stick to BSC. That's where the people are, and that's where the money is. People run off to these new chains. Hey, I want to be first. I want to be first. There's no point in being first to a dud. Okay, I'd rather wait a week and get into something like this because I know that it's going to be around. Follow the money, follow the volume. Don't be like these guys that just go into everything. It's dumb, and it's any monkey can do that. Okay, so the best. Now, with that said, let's just go back to what I was going to talk about originally. With this. BUSD, this has been growing steadily, not as fast, but then again, it's not a massive growth. It's just growing steadily, and then obviously this one here is also growing steadily, not massively, but it's growing steadily. It's going up slowly, and that's the thing you want to see, right? So the thing with this is because basically, I'll explain in the last video that you're looking at 10 the minimum compound, which is 12 hours times 10. If you get it right and you're right there, as soon as it ticks over to the next when it stops at 12 hours, right? You got 12 hours and you can click another compound. That basically 5 days, and then you've got to wait for the cart to be full. So you really want to be waiting 48 hours because it takes you 5 days to just get to that stage. And if you only cash out after 24 hours, it's pretty pointless, right? You want a full 48 hours. So then if you add 5 days plus 48 hours, that's 7 days. 7 days is going to give you 4 withdrawals in a month. 4 times 12 is 48. You're only going to get 48 withdrawals in a year. So the good thing about that is, obviously, so does everyone else. Okay, people cannot just cash out like baked beans and just cash out every single day. They can't do it. Well, they can, but I mean, they're going to eat a 80% tax, and it's pretty dumb to do that, right? Because the rest of the, if they're going to eat that 80% tax, that 80% goes back into the treasury, or back into the main contract, right? So it's pretty dumb to just keep on constantly eating and eat that 80% tax. So the thing with this is you should just follow what it is, because here's basically how it works. This is the typical lifetime of a miner, right? So this is BNB miner. It comes along, it has a huge spike at the launch, everyone's hyped up, and it goes up to an all-time high. And then once it reaches its peak, and then it's going to come down. Okay, after it moons with these miners, it just does not recover. You'll never get to that peak again. And by the time it gets to that peak anyway, it's probably 60 or 90 days into it. All the people that started in the beginning, I mean, they're eating at 90 days. They're probably making 5 or 10,000 a day by then, right? So it's never going to go up again, never going to hit that all-time high simply because all the people that got in early are already eating at a massive rate, 10 grand a day, boom, boom, boom. All right, so this is how it's generally speaking it's going to go, right? And don't look at the green one. I'm just talking about the actual chart. Like, see in the background, it's got this blue thing, right? Now, the green one, which I've drawn a line, this is your compounding, okay? So this is how you're going to build your account to this or this, right? You need to compound, and compound means that you just gotta, you gotta, every time you rebake, you compound, and then eventually it grows, from $100 a day, 110, 120, 130, 40, 50, 200, 250, and then it grows exponentially till you get to 1,000. And then once you get to 1,000, 2,000, then the more that you got earning daily, it just grows exponentially. Okay, it doesn't grow linearly; it grows exponentially, and that's what this is. That's what this green line is. It takes a while to get up, right? And then it goes whoosh. Right, you're making 10,000 a day, then obviously, to get up to 100,000 is only going to take you, only a few days, or very, very few. But to get to that initial point of 10,000, it takes a long time. That's why this is a exponential growth. That's how everything works in an exponential way when it comes to compounding, okay? But here's the problem, right? And as I outlined before, this red line, this is the actual growth of typically how these miners work, right? No matter what it is, even BNB, this BNB crops miner and BUSD, even they've got these safety guards in place where you can't essentially can only withdraw once a week, 48 times a year. It's still going to go this way, but it's just going to be longer. It's going to take longer. So it's not going to dump like baked beans did. It's just going to take longer. So it just means it'll just be around longer. That's all it means. I mean, they don't actually die off. They're all around. They stick around. They just pay very, very little at the end. Okay, but the good news with this is it stops people from dumping because of these safeguards in place. So if you want to play this the best way, you're better off playing exactly how it's been mapped out, 6-to-1, or essentially, once a week. Just eat once a week, because, like, again, going back, do not try to compound this thing. Do not try to compound, because it's not going to work. It's not going to work because the lifespan of it, see, is the red, right? That's the lifespan, and you're compounding how much you need to compound to get up is different. They're totally different lines. Now, back in the day when baked beans first started, yeah, okay, you could do that because it was new. No one had seen it on that scale. I mean, BNB miner was out, but it didn't take off like baked beans did. So the people that got into baked beans early, like last year, yes, they could compound, and then by the time they got to February, yeah, they were already eating at 10 grand a day, right? Because it was new. But now there's 150, 200 miners out there. You can't do that anymore. Okay, that whole new thing. Hey, look at this! It's new, bright and shiny. That's gone. That's tarnished. It's gone. So you can't compound your way up there anymore. So the best way to approach it is this way, right? You just take your 7 days, right? You compound for 10 days. 10 times, which will give you 5 days, if you can hit it right every single time. Then you wait till your cart is full. That'll take another 48 hours. So now you're up to like 7 days. Then you cash out. But you got to wait. Make sure you wait. This gets down to exactly, like I got 39 hours before I'm going to cash out. There's no point cashing out now because, remember this started at 48 hours. That means I'm only going to ever get like 9 hours worth of estimated daily returns. And that is a daily, which is 24 hours. So I'm not going to get stuff all. In other words, if I cash out now, I would only get, geez, off the top of my head there, $50. Yeah, let's just say $50 for compounding for 5 days and just compounding, waiting for this cart. There's no way I'm going to wait five days or whatever it is, plus whatever now I've waited now, to get $50 cashed out. You understand what I mean? So that's why you got to wait right to the end. Get the full amount. Because once you hit this harvest crops, you're going to have to wait another 5 days to compound 10 times. I mean, you can cash out, but they're going to hit you with 80% tax. All right? So this is where the safeguard's in. So make sure that when you do it, you compound for 10 times, which is 5 days. Then you wait a full 48 hours. So now you're up to 7 days if you can time it perfectly, which you probably won't because you'll probably be asleep somewhere through these compounds. But anyway, just say you do it perfectly. You're at 7 days. This counts down to 48 hours to 0. Once this goes to 0, that's it. You stop earning because your cart's full. You have to either do two things: harvest the crops or hire more farmers. You want to, in my opinion, do not hire more farmers. Just cash out. Why? Because you're only allowed to cash out 48 times a year. And like I said, this is the lifespan of it. By the time you try to compound, and you'll be compounding, but by the time you get to the point that you want to be compounding, this thing will already be declining. It'll already be declining. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the best strategy, is to take profit and to get your seed out and just follow exactly what they've outlined here. Do not keep on recompounding, okay? Just follow exactly what they've outlined. If I can be as clear as I can, follow exactly what they've done, all right? Get your seed out and do exactly what this is planned, and you will, eventually get your seed money and you'll make some profit. If you bring some referrals, you will make even more money, all right? Because the referrals go straight into your wallet, all right? If you get referral commissions, you could put it back in, but in my opinion, you should just not. You should hold it because it's essentially like free money, in other words, all right? So they're my thoughts. That's how you play this, okay? You've got to get your seed out, guys, and you've got to get in profit as soon as you can, because this does not last forever and it will start to decline. But fortunately, it's not going to decline for a long time. Hopefully not for a long time, because of these safeguards. And hopefully this contract can continue to go up slowly, but that's okay. As long as it goes up, that's fine, okay? All right, guys, so that's my video. Let me know your thoughts below if you're in this. If you're not in this, I reckon this is probably the best miner right now. It's the most sustainable anyway, long term, the crops one. But don't go into the Phantom one. Don't go into the AVAX one. There's less volume on them, okay? Go and stick to BSC because that's where the money is. People don't understand. They want to ape into these, but there's no money there. The volume is not there. See, they don't know this, and then they go in it, and then they lose their money. Stick to BSC.